I bought the most expensive ticket at an MMA event. And it included front row seats, an entire VIP lounge, and I even got locker room access with a current UFC fighter and much more. I also had one of the craziest fight nights of my life where I met Conor McGregor and I visited a regional show with a bunch of local fighters.
Let's go everybody!
And for the first event I'm heading down south to the city of Eindhoven, where I'm going to Sportcentrum Sport Vision, going to Cage Warriors Academy Lowlands, a regional show where a regular ticket only costs 40 euros. I'm going to be ranking each event based on these factors: the venue, the atmosphere, the production, the food and drinks, the fights, and of course the seats. One of the things what make regional shows so great is that you have friends or teammates fighting on these cards. And today I had two of them, Zubir Mohammadi and Golam Nizami. Both of them were going to be fighting later during the card. At today's event, Cage Warriors Academy only had amateur fights, including one amateur title fight. But before we continue, I'm trying to hit 100k subscribers by the end of the year. If you can like and subscribe, you will help me out so much. We ended up getting seated and the seats were actually really good for only 40 bucks. Just in comparison, the seats at the last event were 3,650% more expensive. The production was also really good. They had smoke machines during the walkout and some really good music, and the fights were also really good. Amateur fights are usually really good because they really want to prove themselves, including Zubir, who was going to be my first teammate fighting tonight. He proudly wears the flag of Afghanistan and is a really good wrestler. And today he was fighting his first fight this year against an opponent who was 11-1 at amateur, so really high level. And before we knew it, it was already time to fight. But lucky for us, corner Manoach came prepared with a gadget, and we knew with preparation like that we weren't gonna lose. What makes these regional shows so great is because you actually care about the person that's fighting. If you see some random pro fighter, you might not care, but when it's your friend, when it's your teammate, you want them to win. And lucky for us, he fought a really good fight. In the first round he got the back, then the second round he was dominating as well. And then in the third round he got into a really good position and ended up getting the TKO stoppage in the third round.
What makes competing at Cage Warriors Lowlands so great?
My opinion, Cage Warriors Lowlands here in Holland, you have the best fighters and best talent fighters from Europe.
And you competed at amateur level here. What is it like now competing at pro level?
To be honest, I had here harder fights than in prof.
And after that really impressive performance, we had to make sure we finished our checklist, and we had crossed off every single thing, starting with the venue. The venue was great. It was in the local gym, built into an arena. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing, but for food and drinks there wasn't a lot of option. It was still pretty good, but compared to what we're gonna get at the other events, it was just regular. And then just before we got to finish our list, my second teammate Golam Nizami was fighting. After a strong first round, in the second round he gave his back away the entire round, so he knew for the third round he had to go out there and put on a performance. And that's exactly what he did, coming in with a spinning back kick and then eventually taking him down, putting on the pressure, getting the back, punching, and then it ended up going to a decision. It was extremely close, but he ended up getting the W. Really good performance by him, a tough fight, but he managed to pull it through.
Let's go everybody!
So let's put everything into perspective. The venue was great, the atmosphere was absolutely amazing, what you expect at an event like this. The production was also really good. Food and drinks, there wasn't that much option, but it was fine. The fights were really good, only amateur fights, but really good. And the seats for 40 bucks were amazing. And then you get this overview.
Let's go!
And then for the next event, I'm flying to the UK, to the city of Manchester, where I'm going to BKFC in the Manchester Arena.
So I've arrived in Manchester for the first time. Whilst I'm here, might as well do some touristy things.
Where I made a quick pit stop at the Etihad Arena, the home ground of Manchester City, where I went to Manchester City versus Burnley.
Alright, that was fun and games, but that's not why I'm here. Let's head to the actual arena.
What I didn't know then was that Conor McGregor was going to be at that event, and not only that, but that I was actually going to meet him. I ended up getting floor seats at this event, which cost a minimum of around $130, but it can depend on which event you're going to. The arena, however, was extremely beautiful, and the fight started immediately. Almost every single fight that night ended by knockout, and the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. I thought the walkouts were also really good, the production was really good at this event, and then of course the fights were absolutely amazing. Like I said, almost every single fight ended by knockout. And then one Conor McGregor walked into the arena and the crowd erupted.
So Conor McGregor walked past and he gave me like a fist bump. And just like he just walked by really quickly, so I didn't even get a camera, so that sucks. But at least Conor McGregor's here, so that's good.
And then Conor McGregor took the mic. The co-main event was an absolutely amazing fight. And then in the main event it was a former boxing world champion taking on an Australian fighter. The fight was a little bit of a brawl. A lot of times after the bell they were still punching each other. It was extremely heated. The fight was also extremely close, but it made for some really good entertainment. So let's look back. The venue was amazing. The atmosphere was also really good at this event. The food and drinks were pretty good at the event as well, that a little bit more. The fights were absolutely amazing. The production was also really good, and I think the seats for what you paid were also really good. And then of course I had my moment with Conor McGregor. And here one more look at everything that I picked. Do you agree with it or not? And then for the last event it was time to head south again, this time to the city of Köln, where I was going to the Lanxess Arena, this beautiful 20,000 seater arena where I was going to Octagon 78. After coming to the arena we had a special entrance because we got VIP platinum tickets costing 1,500 euros, which is $2,000, so a pretty big step up compared to the other tickets. We walked all the way through the front to these beautiful seats. You were this close that you could pretty much hear the people talk on TV, and then during the walkouts they would walk right beside us. And having seats this close to the cage, I don't think you're gonna be surprised that I gave these seats 3 stars. And then it was time to head to the VIP lounge. This was included with the seats, and for the entire night you had unlimited food and drinks. You had this amazing buffet with a lot of different things to choose, and then by the end you had this really great pasta which tasted amazing. So once again this was going to be 3 stars. The dessert was also really good, and then after that we also had some drinks. Everything was included, also alcohol if you drink alcohol. I personally don't, but if you do, you can also get alcohol there for free. And I made sure I made good use of it.
We are currently in the VIP lounge. We have unlimited drinks, unlimited food, everything. This is your first time going to an MMA event.
Yeah.
What's it been like?
It's a nice show, especially it's the VIP thing we are now doing, so it's a bit better than the normal tickets of course, but it's a really nice event.
Because normally it's not like this, you know that, right?
Yes, I know.
And then we went back to our seats to watch some fights. They were walking out right next to our seats, so we got a good look at everybody. I mean, look at how close you're gonna get. It can't be any more close than this. The fights were also amazing. He won by a spinning elbow, which was amazing. But then we managed to get backstage. That was because the night before my coach called me and said that he was going to be in the corner of somebody that he knew from before, and he took the fight on 24 hours notice. He took on the fight against the number 3 heavyweight Vespasian, who is extremely good. So we went backstage, and here you see Deji, who was going to be fighting later during the night. But he was sharing a locker room with Islam Dulatov, the current UFC fighter. The brother of Islam Dulatov was going to be fighting tonight. And for Deji, taking on this fight on 24 hours notice is extremely impressive and badass. For Tamerlan Dulatov's walkout, people went absolutely insane. He brought I don't know how many people with him and a rapper. Then after that he ended up winning the fight also via a first round knockout, which was really good. You see him landing a good body kick, and then after that he managed to finish the fight. Insane knockout.
Crazy knockout.
Then we went backstage immediately because it was time for Deji to fight. Here you see him right before walking out, and the production was insane at this event. Here you see the walkout, what it is like for a fighter to walk through, and then also all the people and all the fans in this beautiful 20,000 seater arena. For many people this is probably a dream come true to be there walking out in this arena fighting, and for Deji this was now going to become a reality. This was his first fight at Octagon, again on 24 hours notice, stepping up, taking on this fight with no hesitation. Unfortunately he didn't win the fight, he ended up losing, but he put up a really good performance. So he can be absolutely proud of himself for having the guts to take this fight.
Okay guys, we are back for the second round. There's a couple fights left. If we're here VIP, might as well take advantage of it. Unlimited food, unlimited drinks. I'm not just gonna sit here and have one meal. The fights have been 6 so far. We have a couple more fights left today. I'm gonna enjoy my chicken. We're gonna enjoy the last couple of fights and this amazing VIP experience here at Octagon in Köln.
Then we only had 2 fights left, so we had to make sure we were locked in and focused, that we could review every single thing that we wanted to do at this card. The co-main event was going to be a girls fight, and then the main event was going to be a fighter from the city of Köln himself taking on a Croatian fighter. The girls fight here was going on and the crowd was going absolutely insane. So here once again I'm going to have to give it 3 stars. The fans were amazing this night. And then it was time for the main event. Again, some high level production. That was one of the things that I absolutely loved about this event. The crowd absolutely erupting for their fighter. And then he stepped into the cage taking on a really tough opponent. The fights again this night were absolutely amazing. However, unfortunately for the city of Köln, he did lose due to a first round TKO stoppage. The silence in the arena was deafening after the fight. And then after that it was the end of the event. And we enjoyed it so much. It was an incredible experience. So let's put everything into perspective one more time. The arena was insane. The seats were absolutely amazing, what you would expect. The production was also really good at this event, I loved it. And then also the food and drinks were really tasty. Everything was included, which is amazing. The fights were also really good. Every single fight was a pro fight at a really high level. And then lastly, the atmosphere was absolutely amazing at this event. $2,000 is not cheap, but you definitely get your money's worth at this event. So here you have the overview one more time. So now I'm gonna pass the question to you. Which event would you go to? Which one was your favorite? If you like videos like this, I have 2 more versions of cheapest versus expensive out now on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Hoes!